Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, good evening. So, today's class is the sixth class, and now we are going to discuss Unit 13 is related to some methods of communication. As you know, communication plays an important role in our life. There is a proverb in Odia, बचने का दरिद्रता. Have you listened or not? बचने का दरिद्रता in ओडिया माने
हाँ सर
मधुर कथाटी जदि आमे कहिबा, so what does it mean? Na communicate our message politely with a sweet voice, melodious voice, so that it can impress of others. And when others will be impressed, their love and affection will come to you, and the bond will be very tight in between the relationship between the communicator and the receiver. So, when the teacher does communication, the students also participate in the communication. So, what should be the teacher's attitude? The teacher's attitude should be very fine, gentle, polite, and very smooth and sober behavior is required while we are communicating. We have an idea that communication means only it is verbal. Can you agree with me? It is only verbal.
No, sir.
Then, Pujanini Kua, what other modes of communication?
Action ଅନୁସାରେ ବି କରିପାରିବ ତ non
Yes, very
verbal.
good. Very good. Verbal, non-verbal, written. So, number of modes of communication are there. I am asking, I am speaking, you are listening, you are comprehending. When you have any doubt or you face any difficulty, then you ask, what is this? What is this? Please give another example, sir. Then we can understand it. So this is verbal. So we can show the action gestures. Most of the time, action gestures play the important role to communicate your message, your thoughts, your feelings, your attitudes, your behavior, everything. When the face experience is angry, the teacher is in angry mood, or the father is in angry mood, the mother is in angry mood. What shall you do? You should not talk any or demand any, fulfill your demands, because they are in not good mood. So it is very important for us that we have to observe, we have to study the mood of the person. If the person's mood is very jolly, pleasant, then we offer our demands. मनकर तुम कि जीवाक एना चाहिए गोटे बुलाया सांग सहित पिकनिक केते कह सांग सहित बुली जावाई केते कह यस घरे कह तुम गार्डियन को आइदर फादर मदर और योर हजबैंड who are married. When you ask them or take their permission to go, you have to find out, look, when their mood is all right, very fine. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Am I
Yes,
right?
sir.
Kahinki bhali karo?
Yes, sir.
Why you do this? Bhanupriya, why you do this? कहीं जने रिजिट थिला बेले कहले हमर असुविधा कोन हबो आई हैव राइट एज ए मेंबर ऑफ द फैमिली आई हैव राइट टू गो सो नो एना सेति पई कहितली बचने का दरिद्रता आमे ठीक समय रे जदी ठीक कथाटी मधुर कथाटी जण को कहूचे ताले से जो इन्फॉर्मेशन टे आमे दबा दैट इन्फॉर्मेशन कैन गो टू द पर्सन and it will touch the person. Therefore, the person will think about it and act accordingly. So, communication is very important in our life. The teacher who communicate in a nice way, in a very following the innovative practices, then the students or the learners can learn, can get the concept very easily, and that is remain in the mind of the learners forever. That is known as constructive approach. So constructive approach is basically depend upon the techniques of communication. How we are proficient enough to communicate, to present our views. Okay? Use different types of materials. In addition to using materials, we should also give the contextual examples, the contextual storage, and the appropriate teaching aids or TLM, teaching learning material, will be used. Our action will be shown, our gesture, our facial experience, our body language. So everything is reason helpful for communication. So communication is very important in the part of the every individual. As we are basically in the teaching profession, now you are the, I am a teacher, you are going to be the teacher in the pre-primary schools, therefore you are often you are pursuing the degree of a DEC. So this is your objective. And you have to communicate the information message to your children, your family members, the members in the society. Okay, so everything who communicates in a nice way, everybody loves him or her. ସମସ୍ତେ ତାକୁ ଭଲ ପାଇବେ। ମାନେ ରଖିଥିବ ଯୋଉମାନଙ୍କର କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ ସ୍କିଲଟା ବହୁତ ଭଲ, ତାଙ୍କୁ ସମସ୍ତେ ଭଲ ପାଇବେ। ଏଭ୍ରିବଡି ୱିଲ୍ ଲଭ୍ ଦେମ୍। ହଁ ନା ନାହିଁ?
Yes, sir.
ହଁ, କାହିଁକି?
Sir.
କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ, ହଁ, କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ ସ୍କିଲଟି ଭଲ ଥିଲେ ତାକୁ ସମସ୍ତେ ଭଲ ପାଆନ୍ତି। କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ?
ତାର କଥାରେ ଅଛି ମଧୁର ବଚନ କହିତସିବ ଜନମନ।
ହଁ, ଭେରି ଗୁଡ୍। ଆଉଥରେ ରିପିଟ୍ ଇଟ୍।
ମଧୁର ବଚନ କହିତସିବ ଜନମନ।
Very good. Everybody should listen it. I have forgotten it, but you have to remember it and note it. କହିବ ମଧୁର ବଚନ ତୋଷିବ ଜନମାନଙ୍କର ମନ। ହଁ ନା ନାହିଁ?
କହି ତୋଷିବ ଜନମନ।
କହି ତୋଷିବ, ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ଟିକେ କରିଦେଲି ଆଉ। କହି ତୋଷିବ ଜନମନ। So ଏତେ କଥା କାହିଁ କୁହାଯାଇଛି? So everything is linked with the communication. Okay, so think about someone who takes care of the cows, who works as a peasant but have no formal education, no certificate. Are they living in the society smoothly or not living in the society smoothly? Yes, जो माने मोटे फॉर्मल एजुकेशन पाई नांती, कोनोसी सर्टिफिकेट नाही, तांगा नाम भी से लिखि पारु नांती, जे चाषबास करूछंती बा कोनोसी काम कार्य करूछंती, एपरि कि ना न लिखि पारि कि बिजनेस भी करूछंती, लोक भी अछंती। Yes or no? When they are performing their daily activities,
Yes, sir.
whether they communicate in between the co-workers or not, गोटे लोकटे फार्मर से जा पाखु जाउची, जा बिलो काम करिया पई आसी ता पैसा मागरा नाही, मते पैसाटा दियंतु, दिटा हो बोए।
हां सर।
आगे मते पैसाटा दियंतु। ए जदि से कहबो आपण काम करथले, काम सरसुर पैसा देले नहीं, कोन मागिया पड़े आपन को? So what is the difference between two types of communication? What is the difference? Yes? जो दी प्रकार कम्युनिकेशन कला से, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन टू टाइप्स ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन? एना प्रा कहउतिल कहि तो शिव जनमन। यस, हां भानुप्रिया काई अटकी जाउछ को?
सर प्रथम से जेता कहला सेता बेले ता कथारे मिठा थिला, जे सेकंड टाइम जेता कहला से ता कथारे म्हणजे रुक्षता थिला।
Okay, very good. So if we come to our formal setup, in our formal system, there are different types of messages, and under the different types of messages, we have to give information, any instruction, any suggestion to others. And there are different types of methods of communication. So in a formal system in school or any educational institutions or in our workplace, we have to communicate, we have to inform. Communicate means what? To give information. To give information to others, to share our views and opinions before others. That's why they can give experience, they can learn something, they will be aware about the fact. Okay. So to do this, certain methods we have to adopt. In this class, we should discuss about 6 types of methods like lecturer, demonstration, group discussion, role play, case study, storytelling. Now, anybody repeat what are methods we have to discuss today? Anybody? Please repeat. Yes? Yes? Sonali Nayak. Which methods we have to discuss today? I told you now.
Communication method, sir.
You may note. You may note. May lecturer. Someone note korcho to lecturer, demonstration, group discussion, role play, case study, storytelling. How many methods? Yes, how many methods?
6.
6 methods. So, let us start our discussion with the lecturer method. Everybody should remain attentive and listen and share with me. When I ask any question, you have to share. Because while we are teaching, while we are organizing or involving ourselves in any teaching learning activities, so it is not justice to speak a single person and listen with other, they become the passive listener. So therefore, wherever you go, wherever you are, always you should be careful how to make your discussion interactive. Okay. So lecture method, when you think about the lecture method, so lecture method is a method by which or through which only one-way communication is there. Means one will give the lecture, others will listen. Like a meeting or any occasions, in a classroom also, some teachers are only speaking and speaking. Only the students are listening, passive listeners. So this is the lecturer method. So lecture method is not appropriate method to interact inside the classroom. It doesn't give enough benefit to the learners. But in certain cases, lecture method is also required. Not always. In certain cases, lecture method is also required. So, in this context, how we have to organize the lecture method? There are 3 steps. While we are organizing the lecture method, we should follow 3 steps. 3 steps. One step, but step 1 is you have to acquire or gather or collect what? Information. Suppose I will give you a lecture on a topic, on the topic lecturer method. So what shall I do first? I should acquire certain information on lecture method. What is the concept of lecture method? What are the techniques, how to organize lecture method? What are the merits? what are the demerits. So I collect the concept and examples, select the examples, then I explain to the audience or the speaker, the listeners. That is known as lecture method. So first step of the speaker is to collect information, gather knowledge, store the information from different sources, collect from different sources like reading books, discussing with others, watching television or any Google search from Google. So there are different ways are there. Sources are there, variety of sources are there. Collect the information from different sources and keep it with him, and that should be expressed while you are delivering your lecture, while you are speaking to the audience, while you are addressing to the audience. That is very important. Prathame collect karibo, store karibo information. Then second plan is make a plan. After collecting the information, make a plan how to present before the audience, how the listener, how the speakers will, how you can speak, you can deliver before the listeners, before the audience, before the students. That it should be contained with introduction. First is introduction. What are the body of the talk? What you have to talk about it? Recapitulation. Recapitulation means relate to the past talks to present talk. Then summarization. Lastly, you have to summarize the whole theme in a paragraph in few sentences. That plan should be undertaken in second step. Third step is acquire necessary aids like picture, posters, slides, charts, maps, pamphlets on the strength of your spoken language, spoken information, that is given information. जो इनफॉरमेशन तमे दबाको जाउछ तुम ऑडियंस को बस छुआ मानकू पिला मानकू, if you are organizing an lecture method, you should collect certain materials also, keep with you and use while you are speaking. Contextually it will be used, it will be shown to your learners, thereby it will help your learners how to understand, how to use, and the context, from the context learners will learn. This is important. These are the three important steps while organizing partner lecture method. One thing is very important. The information you collect and present, that should be reliable and correct. Never tell wrong. The information you collect, the source of information you collect should be reliable. Source should be reliable means what? Very prominent. Satyata thiba. False information collect karibo nahi. And if you are not confirmed, the information is not reliable, so you keep it with you. You should not share before others. Before sharing, you should be clear. Your idea should be clear. Thereby you can give another example, number of examples, and justify your language, your talk. Justify your talk through specific information, giving specific examples. So it should be very correct. Reliable information should be collected. You must give a brief introduction. While we are presenting, our introduction should be very brief. Brief means what? Who can say? What is the meaning of brief? Yes? आमे जिते बेले कहूचे पूरा ब्रीफली आमे कहवा दरकार, टू दी पॉइंट, माने पूरा जतिकी आवश्यक सेतिकी को सहितरु पिला माने बहुत शिखि जिबे जानि जे ऑडियंस बहुत को शिखिबे जानि. अननेसेसरी टॉक करी समय अधिक नष्ट कर नाही जेतेबेले पब्लिक प्लेस रे भाषण दउचे को तुमर एक्सपीरियंस कोन गोटे पब्लिक रे जने वक्ता कहउचंती आमे श्रोता हिसाब रे सुनुचे आमे को वक्ता को भलो पाउ के कह परियो बुझारणी को आमे को वक्ता को भलो पाउ
सर जी
हाँ,
मधुर कथा
प्रमोद
कहते
खाली मधुर कथा कहले हम भल पाइबा
पूरा ठीक विषय ଉପରେ କହିବୁ
କଥାର ସତ୍ୟତା ବି ଥିବା ଦରକାର।
हां आ कोन अच्छा आ कोन मोटे
ସେ
एग्जांपल
ଠିକ ସେ ବୁଝେଇ ପାରୁଥିବ
बुझे पाउथिबो गुड मोटे एग्जांपल दउछ जने वक्ता से बहुत कथा जानि छंती तांको रिलेटेड कथा खाली से याकू आग पछ फेणा फेणी करी खाली गपी चल छंती से 15 मिनिट तांको समय दिया हतला से घंटा हैला गपु छंती सेठी कोन फील करिवो तमे एई सिचुएशन रे तमे कोन फील
ବିରକ୍ତ
करिवो
ହେଇଯିବେ ସାର୍।
यस जदि 15 मिनिट समय दिया जाइछि ठीक ढंग रे मधुर वचन मधुर एक्शन एवं मधुर उदाहरण देई जदि ताको से 12 मिनिट रे सारी दियंती ताले से वक्तव्य सेई जो टॉक टा सुनिबा को हम आग्रह लागे इंटरेस्ट लागे ना घंटा गपुथिबा लोक सुनिया को भल लागे हैं
12 मिनिट
ସାର୍
Which
କମ
is-
ସମୟ ନେଇକି
हाँ यस कहीं अटकी जाउछ सुचित्रामयी
आज्ञा सर
कुह
सर 12 मिनिट जे कम टाइम हो पछे किंतु कथा किसी सत्यता थिबो
यस
सेही कथा ही
so yes thank you so the communication skill or the lecturer should be limited time management is there some teachers are there they are teaching and teaching period after period after period after period the students are feeling boring and boring so in my when I was a student in high school in matriculation examination I scored very poor mark in English due to this only because I remember the teacher of English he taught English 2 or 3 periods consecutively and completed one chapter topic in 1 or 2 periods consecutively so how it helped us to acquire the knowledge so obviously we couldn't it helped us to secure poor mark so as a teacher you should not do that be specific maintain your time and collect reliable and correct information present it before the learners never touch the ambiguity discussions and again you repeat the main points while the lecture method is adopted the main points should be repeated again and again lastly you have to summarize the main learning points so after listening 15 minutes 20 minutes 25 or 30 minutes whatever the fact may be at the end point the listeners will know what are the main points of this class of this lesson this is important there are certain limitations of lecture method like it permits very little interaction so in limitation means demerits note it मन रख क्वेश्चन आसला बेले एबले आसीबो लिमिटेशन रो अन्य सिनोनिम शब्दटी होउची डिमेरिट बा डिसएडवांटेज ए शब्दटा लिखि रख यदि क्वेश्चन आसिला डिमेरिट करी करी बा डिसएडवांटेज करी करी तमे ए लिमिटेशन को लिखिबो हला so what are the demerits of lecture method The first demerit is it permits very little interaction. So, lecture method gives emphasis on the lecture of the speaking of the speaker. It has no scope to participate the other audience, means students or any audience or public. Therefore, it is only they listen it passively, and the teacher is the passive active speaker. So it limits the very interaction. Another is it is one-way communication. One individual speaks, others listens. So one-way communication is there. Inappropriate teaching a skill, while we are teaching skill, developing the skill of any activity, so it doesn't help. It is not appropriate. It is inappropriate. So observation and practice is regulated in this method. So there is no chance of the audience or the listeners how to observe, what to observe, how to observe and practice the activities. So it is very another demerit or limitations. So a lot of practice is required for effectiveness of the lecturer. Your lecture should be effective when you practice your students again and again. Frequently you have to make practice of students, but it is absent in this method. So some useful suggestions we have to follow to improve our lecture method. In between your talking, ask few questions. In between your talking, ask few questions. कहला बेले क्वेश्चन पचार ना पचारिबनी. You have to put questions while you are speaking. It is very important. Okay. So another is encourage the participation. Encourage your learners to participate. Actively they have to participate. They listen, they try to understand, and when they face any difficulty, they ask to know the concept, to understand the fact. It is very important. So another is limit your one-way communication. Then time management is a very important factor. Within time, you should complete your talk. Clarify the doubts of the students or audience. What doubt they have, they ask. Give a certain example, reliable example, contextual example, and as per the experience of the students, you have to put your examples and solve their doubts or problems. It is very important. What class it is very important. So another is humor should be created by you while you are speaking. Humor. मझे टे जोक करूथिबो, मजा करूथिबो, मजा कथा टे कहूथिबो, समस्त मन को पाइला भलिया, तार तो समस्त खुशी बासी हे जाउथिबे, बोरिंग हेबेनी. Humor must be created. So your communication should be better, and you should think about it giving certain examples, and that example should be related to the life of the audience. Okay, then demonstration, group discussion should be done. Why we have to do this? Because this helps the listener to receive you, to understand you, and they have to participate very eagerly, very interestingly, and motivation will be created among them. So it is very important. So then another method is group discussion. Everybody have idea what is group discussion? Yes or no? अरे group discussion कौन जानी चला जानना?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ताले कौन group discussion? What do you mean by group? What do you mean by group? आमे कहा को ग्रुप कहबा कोन जानछ मते टे कहलो
One or more individuals get together.
Okay. Pujarini told one or more individual get together, that is a group. So anybody, any other's opinion? आउ के कोन जानछ टे कहबा? Yes.
And interaction. That interaction भी होतबा.
Interaction होतिबो. Okay. How? So you are right, but we have to be careful that you may note it. Orally exchange of our ideas. Orally means verbally. When we verbally exchange our ideas, in between 3 members or more than that, that is group discussion. 3 members or more than that. 3 जण बा अधिकरू लोक जदि आमे verbally किछि आलोचना कले, that is group discussion. So group discussion is an oral exchange of ideas between a group of people. That group of people means 3 or more than that. One individual cannot be treated as group, 2 or so cannot be treated as group. Group means 3 or more than that. And usually under the direction of a leader, means among them one should be lead the discussion. And he is the leader. आमे बेठी बसिक आलोचना करूचे मु पचारछि तमे डाउट पचारछ आमे आलोचना करूचे एटा गोटे ग्रुप डिस्कशन तले ग्रुप रे लीडर की हु इज द लीडर ऑफ दिस ग्रुप
Sir, अपन.
yes so leader should be lead the discussion जे डिस्कशन टाको से ग्रुप रे लीड करूची से संग थाई पारे जाका भितर गोटे पिला भी थाई पारे who leads discussion he is the leader okay for the purpose of enlightenment solving of any problem and to meet certain need of the life or requirement. For example, in a village, think about the example of a village. गाँव सब ग्राम सभा अछि ना नहीं?
आज्ञा सर
अच्छी. Then what is the function of a gram sabha in a village? What is the function of gram
जेकोन
sabha in a
प्रॉब्लम
village?
विषय प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व होतबा ग्रामर.
Acha, very good. So, to solve any problem of the village or for the betterment of the villagers or solving any individual's problems. Okay, so number of regions are there. On those regions, the villagers sit together and discuss the points and take decisions what to do. So discussion, group discussion is 2 types. One is private discussion, another is public discussion. Private discussion is related to our personal life. Suppose I want to construct a building. I try my best to collect money and discuss with my family members how I have to arrange my money and will construct the building. So it is, tell me whether it is private discussion or public discussion. It a co-discussion, public or private? Yes?
Private.
Private. Very good. Public discussion, just I told you. Suppose there is a no road for the villagers. They sit together and make a plan how to construct the road. So it is public discussion. Okay. So discussion are 2 types, private and public. And we sit and have discussion to take any decision either formally or informally. Formally, you know, meeting in a college, meeting in a school staff, whether it is formal or informal. Go.
Formal.
Formal. Because there is a certain objective. A notice should be served before it. Time is fixed. Agenda items are prepared. As per that, agenda items in the right time, the staff council will sit and take the decision to solve any problem or to organize any activity. Okay, so it is formal discussion. What is informal discussion? Who can say? What is informal discussion? Anybody? Yes? চা খটি দেখিছ চা খটি আরে চা খটি
yes sir
ଆଜ୍ଞା
চা
sir।
ଖଟିରେ ସବୁ କଣ ହୁଏ ଚା ଖଟିରେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଲୋକ ଯାଆନ୍ତି ସେଠିକି ଚା ପିଅନ୍ତି
ସେଇଠି ବି ଗ୍ରୁପ ଡିସ୍କସନ ହୁଏ।
discussion କରିଥାନ୍ତି sir
ସବୁ
whether
ଡିସ୍କସନ
that
ହୁଏ
is
ସେଠି।
formal or informal discussion ଚା ଖଟିର
informal
discussion
Informal,
ଟା
sir।
yes ସେଠି no agenda item is there, no particular group of people gathers there, so on any issue ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ କଣ କହୁଛି ତାପରେ ଆଉ ଯିଏ ତାଙ୍କର ସବୁ ମତ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି ନାଇଁ କି ଆଉ ଆଜିକାଲି ତ ସେଟା ସବୁ କମିଗଲାଣି ହଁ କୁହ ଭାନୁପ୍ରିୟା କୁହ କଣ କହିବ
ନାଇଁ ସାର୍ କିଛି ନାହିଁ।
okay okay so this is formal and this is informal. So what are the purpose of group discussion? Why we should discuss in a group? The purposes are to determine the action to be taken regarding a problem or need of the group or people. To take an action. जड़े लोक गाँव में रास्ता उपर घर करदेलानी. So the villagers will sit and take the decision to take the help of the law department or report to the RI and Tahsildar and the collector to demolish the house because it is the road, public road. The people who used to go. So this is a problem. To solve it, we have to sit and discuss. To formulate a policy, either in our institutional level policy or state level policy, district level policy or national level policy. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯେ କୌଣସି policy formulation ହୁଏ, during that time the certain intellectual sit and analyze, take views of others, opinions of others, and after that they have to make the policy. So through discussion the policy is formulated. Exchange of information. Suppose I go to attend a training. What I learned from that training, when I come back to my college, then I request the principal, madam or sir, please arrange a meeting for discussion. What I learned, that should be shared in between my colleague. So then thereby we have to exchange my views, thoughts and feelings, experience, what I learned from that new attending the new program or training program or workshop program, any seminars or symposiums, any other activities I participated. कौन मु सिखिली सेठी मो ग्रुप रे exchange करिबी. So suppose there are certain doubts are there in between the colleagues, so a discussion meeting forum will be set up to share the exchange of our views and knowledge. मोर कौन अछि मु मोर उपस्थापन करले अनुमान सिखिबे जानिबे, अनुमान करले मु सेतु सिखिबे, आमे सिखिबा. So exchange of information is there, promoting better understanding between groups with different interests. These are the purposes of group discussion. What are the different steps of group discussion? Number of steps are there. Selection of the topic is very important. While we are discussing, the first important step is select the topic on which, whether it is important for discussion or not. If it is not important, don't spare a single moment of time. नष्ट करनी, गोटे मिनिट भी समय नष्ट करनी. So selection is very important. Like feeding problem of the children, extent of parental control during adolescent years. These are the topics. Similarly, what other topics are reliable, very vital? Select those vital topics and important topics. On that topic, you should develop your discussion in a group. Second step is narrowing the topic. Narrowing the topic means what? What essential for focusing the discussion and the hold the interest of the group. That is very important. Narrowing the topic means the topic will be divided certain elements, and the very vital elements, important elements should be give the group for discussion. Then framing or wording the topic, need to search for an answer. सदाबेले किछि प्रश्न पचारुथिबो. Through asking question, you have to search the knowledge. Frame the topic. As a question, you have to frame the topic. Then, what is the status of the group? Then, another very important is place and time. In which place the meeting, the discussion will be organized. That space should be free lighted. Free ventilation must be there. Air should be there. So the khara dine what important discussion अछि. Kodi basi discussion kariyo. Khara dine in the summer season you have to discuss. Kodi basi discussion kariyo. ଗୋଟେ ରୁଦ୍ଧ କୋଠରୀ ଭିତରେ
ଗଛ ମୂଳେ ବସି
ଗଛ ତଳେ ସାର୍
ଗଛ ତଳେ କରିବ ମେ ମାସରେ ଉଦୁ ଉଦୁ ଖରା ଝାଳ ବୋହି ଯାଉଥିବ ଝାଞ୍ଜି ବାଡଉଥିବ କା ମୁଣ୍ଡୁ କଣ ଆସିବ ସେ ଡିସ୍କସନ ହବ
କଣ ଗୋଟେ ଘରେ ଯୋଉଠି
ଏସି ରୁମ୍ conference hall with AC Jodi you feel comfortable thereby you can give your opinion and views that jantrana manasika star sthiti thik nathiyo bhabiyo kon je prastab kon dabo so place is very important for discussion आजकल बहुत पब्लिक स्कूल गुड़ा सब एसी रूम कर देले ट्यूशन सेंटर को पिला ट्यूशन पे गले भी एसी रूम रे से पढुछंती हैला so place and venue is very important and build up relationship time is another factor and encourage the participants who are the members of the group everyone should be encouraged in the group they should state their opinions समस्त ना ओपिनियन देले निष्पत्तिटा ठीक रे नबो ग्रुप रे जदि दि चार जण कहउथिबा आ समते साइलेंट बसी सुनुथिबे से ग्रुप डिस्कशन किछि माने न थाए so everybody should be encouraged check for satisfaction means before a group discussion ends ask the members if they are happy with the progress of the discussion or not जते बेले गोटे मीटिंग हमें करूचे मीटिंग सला परे हमें कौन कहूचे प्रस्ताव नेले थे समस्त एकमत तो आपण माने खुशी तो आपण मान जदि खुशी the decision will be taken जदि आपण माने खुशी न हो तल decision will not be taken so what proposals we take if you all are agree then we can resolve it आकमे resolution बलरे mandate करि दबा जे ई निष्पत्ति नेले ई काम करिबा that is check for satisfaction so this is all about the process of or steps of organizing group discussion what are the merits of group discussion clarify different aspects of an issue gote issue te achi it gives a scope to everybody to clarify to know तुमे निजे क्लारिफाई सब व्यक्ति मेंबर माने क्लारिफाई हे जानती ओ इशू टा एया ए कथा हम सुनुतले एटा भूल इशू एया हां सेकंड मेरिट इज collective opinion should be taken so a layman has right to give his or her statement or opinion the collective opinion निया जाए समस्त अग्री कले निष्पत्ति निया जाए otherwise निया जाए नहीं encourage the expression of experience and opinion of group members so जो माने एक्सपीरियंस लोक अछंती तांकर अनुभूति रु कोन से भलो कथा कहउछन that should be taken into consideration and in addition to that every member can give their opinion or suggestion it can initiate and sustain every member's involvement in a group discussion. So आमे आजिकली पाठ पढ़ेले स्कूल रे ग्रुप एक्टिविटी की बेसी फोकस करूचे. Why? So no child will sit silently. In a group, if group activity will be organized, so every student in a group can participate, can share his views, his experiences, his thoughts, so that achievement can be better. Then it can facilitate internalizing crucial ideas among participants. It promotes the cooperative spirit. It trains the group members in objective listening and effect of self-expression. These are the different merits of group discussion. Similarly, certain demerits or limitations are there, like it reduces to a chatting session. केतुगुडे मीटिंग चलीथिबो याडू साडू सब गपसप हेबे एजेंडा गोटे आलोचना आ गोटे that should not be encouraged. That is the demerit. Time consuming. In a discussion, time should be consuming, no doubt. अधिक समय नब पर लेक्चरर जने कहि देला तमे सुनि देला टाइम कंज्यूमिंग सेटा हलानी. Then sometimes no clear decision may be arrived at the end. माने दले बसचंदी आलोचना कले केही मतभेद समस्त करा ये गोटे मत देला से गोटे so they cannot take right decision sometimes in a group the proper decision cannot be taken. It is another demerit. Then we have to discuss demonstration and practicals. तमित्रु समस्त के सीटीपीटी कोर्स करिच এই কোর্স করা পূর্ব কে ডিসিটি বা ডিএলইডি বা সিটিপিটি কোর্স করিছ না করন
না স্যার
আচ্ছা শুনিথিব পিলা মানে সিটি কলে বিডি কলে সব কোন করন্তি তা প্র্যাকটিক্যাল কোন
টিচার
স্কুল কি নাই কি টিচিং দিয়ନ୍ତି আরে স্কুল কি
প্র্যাকটিক্যাল আজ্ঞা স্যার practical.
That is practical. अच्छा पिला केमिति टीचिंग दब मो बीएड कॉलेज रे मो अध्यापक बा सॉरी अध्यापक न तो मो प्राध्यापक लेक्चर ओडिया हला अध्यापक प्रोफेसर ओडिया हला प्राध्यापक मन रखता है. Professor post is more higher than the lecturer's post. Lecturer post is junior post, professor is senior post. So being a assistant professor, what is my duty? Before sending my children to the school for practice teaching, what should I do? तांकु विद्यालय को प्रैक्टिस टीचिंग दबा को पठेया पूर्वरु मु जणे प्राध्यापक हिसाब रे मोर काम कोन
तांकु ट्रेनिंग देबा बुझेई देबा तांकु केमिति क्लास नेबे.
अच्छा कथा रे कहिले मु ना तुम कथा रे कहबी तमे या करबो एमतिया करबो एंदी करि जाई पिला पढे देबो तमे सेटा ठीक रे कर परिबो ना नहीं प्रैक्टिकल करि कि तुमको देखेइबी
ना सर नो सर आज्ञा सर
ताले मु सेटा मु सीए स्कूल ले गले जो गोटिए लेसन पढेबे केमिति पढाइबे सेही भली मु प्रथमे तांको गोटे पढाई कि देखेइबी से पिला बसिबे मु सेही नवम श्रेणी बा अष्टम श्रेणी पिला को जाई कि मु गोटे लेसन पढाइबी 40 मिनिट रो बा 45 मिनिट रो. दैट इज डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन. हाउ आई ट्रांजैक्ट that will observe by my students. After that, observing few classes, few demonstration classes, they will do accordingly inside the classroom. That is demonstration. बुझियाला what is demonstration? ना बुझ पाइलनी
सर बुझी पाली.
यस सर बुझी पाली.
Okay. So demonstration is a method of communication and it is a very most appropriate method, and it explains the process, how to do, how to act. Okay, so that process will be observed by the audience. After that, the audience can learn the skill, how to do, how to act. While organizing the demonstration, similarly, last few two discussions, certain steps should be followed, like step 1. Step 1 is related to planning for the demonstration. जे कोनोसी काम करिवा पूर्वरु there must be a plan, pre-plan. So, how I can demonstrate, that must be designed by myself. How it will help the group, my audience or my students, that should be think in my mind. And choose time period, materials, and different steps, prepare certain questions, questions for assessment. So, with the full-fledged preparation, I should go for demonstration. Second step is first is planning. I make a plan. According to my plan, I should be get ready myself. Be prepared. Second step is preparation of the demonstration. Under preparation of demonstration, sitting arrangement of students will be taken into consideration. What materials are available will be used during the transaction, that should be taken to the classroom, prepared beforehand and taken to the classroom. Then make your demonstration realistic. Presentation samaya. You should give your demonstration as per your previous practice and using the previous materials and examples which you have thought. Fourth step is speed of the demonstration. So listen it. Speed of demonstration or speed of any work should not be too speed and too late. Little demonstration दौच बेसी जोर दबनी धड़ 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 करके दबनी कि बा अति स्लो करके भी दबनी गोटे गोटे पिला कथा कहला बेले सुनिथिबो से कहबे planning for the demonstration and find out which is skill of a person at two speed. Planning for the demonstration. This is too late. So don't do that. Read like this: planning for the demonstration. Planning for the demonstration. So this is like this, you have to demonstrate. Fifth is act and talk. While you have to demonstrate, action is very important. Use of material is very important. And your talk, very short talk, short word, short sentence, that must be very to the point. That will help your learners to enjoy it. Sixth is ask one person from the group to repeat the demonstration. Tome demonstration dela, seti au jonu ko dakiba asa mu jemti kali karo. Repeat. Then practice work. Seventh step is practice. Eighth is distribute reference material. Last re tome kemti step by step kon kaam kalo tar gote reference neithibo eta ko andi dabo. So that the learners or the audience will observe, audience will notice, and then practice. It will give more opportunity for the learner how to become good receiver. So this is a very realistic and practical way of communication. Similarly, some advantages of demonstrations are there. Some advantages of the demonstration are there, like useful in teaching skills. When you teach the skills of your learners, it is more useful. And set standards of workshops. Then learning is better through demonstration. It provides a better perspective, and it generates and sustain interest and attention of every listener, every audience, every students. Like demerits or limitations are there. It requires a special arrangement. What a pre-arrangement darkar ethire. Time, need more time, equipment, place, finance artho, money bhi darkar. That is expenditure, more expenditure. A lot of preparation must be given focus on, lot of preparation of the communicator. So material should be organized and prepared, collected. Practice and practical work should be given importance. So these are the limitations or demerits of this. But instead of all the limitations, it is a very effective method of communication. So this is kete number eta gala. One is lecture, demonstration, group discussion. Fourth one is role play. Fourth one is role play. What is role play? Who can say what is role play? Anybody?
ଅନ୍ୟର ନକଲ କରିବା ଅନ୍ୟର ନକଲ କରିବା
ସେଟା ଇମିଟେସନ ଅନ୍ୟର ନକଲ କରିବା ଇମିଟେସନ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ରୋଲ ପ୍ଲେ କଣ ଆରେ ଗାଁରେ ସବୁ ଡ୍ରାମା ଦେଖିନ ଯାତ୍ରା ଦେଖିନ ପଥପ୍ରାନ୍ତ ନାଟକ ସବୁ ଦେଖିନ ନା ଦେଖିନ
ଦେଖିଛୁ ଆଜ୍ଞା ଦେଖିଛୁ ସାର୍
ସେଠି ଆକ୍ଟର ୟେସ୍ ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ଦଉଛି suppose for example one minute join କରୁଛି ଗୋଟେ କ୍ଲାସ ରେ ଆପଣ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ହଉ ମୁଁ ହଉ 2-4 ମିନିଟ୍ ଛାଡ଼ି ଜଏନ୍ କରୁଛି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଅଛି okay so now listen to me କିଛି ପରିବାରରେ ଝିଅମାନଙ୍କୁ ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱ ଦେଉନାହାନ୍ତି ପୁଅମାନଙ୍କୁ ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱ ଦେଉଛନ୍ତି ଝିଅଟି ଭଲ ପଢୁଛି ହେଲେ ପଇସା ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରୁନାହାନ୍ତି ଝିଅ ପାଠ ପଢିବା ପାଇଁ ଉଚ୍ଚ ଶିକ୍ଷା ପାଇଁ ପୁଅ ପଢୁ ନ ପଢୁ ତାକୁ ସେ ପଇସା ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରିବାକୁ ପ୍ରସ୍ତୁତ ପାକ୍ସେକ ହେଇକିନା ପାଠ ପଢିବା ପାଇଁ ଏଇ ଭ୍ରାନ୍ତ ଚିନ୍ତାଧାରାଟି ଲୋକ ଲୋଚନରୁ ନେବା ପାଇଁ ଦୂରେଇବା ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ରୋଲ ପ୍ଲେ କରିବା ପଥପ୍ରାନ୍ତ ନାଟକ ସେଠି କ'ଣ କରିବା how the girl gave the very what we can say example for the society though the parents are not giving her the chance to learn but by dint of her labor she became the great and asset for the society and the people and for the family also but the son for whom the family was giving plenty of money but she became the wayward or the criminal that was the essence of the role play. से role play माध्यमरे message जीव society की कौन ना don't neglect your girl child because girl is not inferior than the boys. So either son or daughter, both are important for the society, for the family, and equally you should treat them. As per their ability, they should be facilitated. Equity must be followed. Therefore, you should not think the girl is only meant for the household affairs and she cannot become the prime minister, president, or any other portfolio. Only sons are taking that. So this is one example how making the role play we should eradicate certain thoughts and feelings from the mind of the children. So it is very important. Okay. So I think 1 minute.